Guys, Ray from BougeRV and Boats. In this video, I'm going to be testing out a new solar panel from BougeRV. It's called the Yuma CIGS Thin Film Flexible Solar Panel. Now, I've done a lot of reviews over the years for BougeRV. Most of their stuff's been pretty good. They recently contacted me and wanted me to review a refrigerator freezer, but I've done a few of those and wasn't that interested. But I was interested in this solar panel that you can see it can fold right around itself, and it's super thin compared to the old flexible panels that you get about 30 degrees and they would crack quite easily. So with the addition of the boat, it would be ideal. I wanted to stick something on top of the boat's bimini. These are super light, around 7 pounds, super thin, and I could put it up and put it away when we're not using it. So it would be ideal. So they offered to send me out their 200-watt test, and that's what I'm going to do today. Just give you a few facts about it here. It's made of a new kind of design, copper indium gallium selenide. So it's a little different than the older flexible panels. And like I say, it's kind of ideal for boats and RVs, of course, especially the ones that have curved roofs. It's supposed to have pretty good output matching, the rigid panels and also pretty good low light capabilities. And they'd say it's very durable. You can walk on it. It's pretty hard to scratch up, and even if it scratches, it'll still work. And very good for shading. I guess it has quite a few bypass diodes in it, and you can shade quite a bit of it and still get pretty good power out of it. Anyway, like I say, in this one, I'm just going to kind of install it on my boat. I also have one of their controllers, so I'm going to put it up on the bimini, install their controller into some batteries, and we'll test the power output of it and compare it to. I have a couple, the standard glass rigid panels, a couple 100-watt panels, so should be a good comparison. So let's go. Here's how it arrived. Pretty small for 200-watt solar panel. I guess it's all rolled up in there, from what I can tell. It's like a big cylinder. Wow, let's get her unpacked and take a look. There we go. So it's quite long. It's super thin. Kind of a shiny plastic coating. Here's the specs. 200 watts plus or minus 5%. Max power voltage 25 volts. Max power current 8. Open circuit voltage 31.5. Short circuit current 8.64. Max system voltage 1000 volts. So I got the ones that had the little grommets put in them. You can get ones that have a sticky back if you're going to be sticking it on, say, a curved RV or a sailboat or something like that. But I really want options to put it in different places. So I have pretty good summer sun. It's early August here, clear skies, right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll just do a short circuit test on this Yuma CIGS panel and see what we get as the max current. Right now, looks like almost 10 amps, call it 10 amps. It's actually pretty good. Okay, so you can see I have it just strapped down on my bimini top. We've been using it that way for about a week, no problem. What I do is I put a blanket underneath the solar panel just to protect this umbrella material here. And actually, when I feel the heat, it's much cooler under the panel than the regular umbrella area, so that's worked out quite well. Some people might permanently mount it somewhere, but I kind of like having it just strap it up. We actually motored along with it. There wasn't too much wind and it was just fine. It didn't blow around or anything. I just used some Velcro straps here, carabiners. I have some straps holding it down there. So the wiring goes down this pole, and I'll show you where I'm feeding it into the boat. Same position as this solar panel. There we are. So this solar panel already had an existing clam, call it a clam inlet, and you just drill a hole and goes through wiring there just for waterproofing. So the wiring comes through there, it goes along there, just to the entrance here, goes in behind the flybridge, and then inside here I just followed the same route that the previous installer used. Mine's the one with the red and black. It's also the radar wire, and it goes down below the helm here and into a closet, and I'll just show you where I have my solar controller mounted. And the wires come in here into this hanging locker and into this BougeRV PPT controller. It's 40 amp controller, so it's plenty big enough to handle that panel. And then the wires go down out of that below here, and I have them feeding into 3 lithium batteries in there to recharge them. So this is an older one I've had for, I don't know, a year or two. Used it in my RV. It's always performed pretty good. Let's just see how much wattage we're getting from that panel now that's mounted on the bimini up there. Okay, so right now we're reporting 10.16 amps out of the controller, 13.4 volts for 132 watts. So it's a 200 watt panel, but I do have it kind of flexed on the ends to go around on the bimini, and also it's not perfect angle. And then there's the wiring loss and the loss going through the controller. So this is what is coming out of the controller and into my batteries. See the solar voltage 21.7. So just as a comparison, I have 2 100 watt Go Power rigid glass panels on the boat, and they're performing roughly the same. You can see 128 watts. So the BougeRV thin panel pretty well matches the glass rigid panels, which is quite nice. Usually the thin panels don't quite have as high output as the rigid glass panels do. Being able to roll up on itself like that in such a small space, I've been able to just store it inside this hanging locker in my boat. So it actually rolls up. I usually have some bins in there, but it just sits in there. I just usually wrap a blanket around it and stuff it in there when I'm not using it. So that's worked out really well. I like the fact that it rolls up so small. Compared to traditional flexible panels, could only do about a 30-degree arc. So let's finish up with some likes and dislikes. Just go through the like list here, and on their website you can see for material this new CIGS versus the old monocrystalline silicon that most solar panels are using. Excellent bendability, definitely there. Lightweight, definitely. Hardly damaged. I don't exactly know what that means, but it's supposed to be pretty durable. Well, time will tell on that. I'll come back and let you know. Higher conversion efficiency. Yeah, it seems to have pretty good efficiency comparable to the rigid panels and better than the older flexibles. Low light performance, higher output. Yeah, it's been pretty good in the lower light. I'll have to do some more testing on that. But on a cloudy day, it seemed to output pretty good compared to the rigid panels. Installed easily, definitely. You can either tape it on or use the little grommets to screw it on, or like I do, with bungee cords. Bend 360, that's pretty cool to fit any surface or to store easily. So let's just look at a few niggly things I've found that I don't like. So a couple little dislikes is the size of the grommets and the durability of the grommets on this. I know this is meant to actually be screwed onto a surface, so I like to see them have a version for people that maybe want to, like I do, just temporarily bungee it somewhere with a little more substantial grommet. Also, the edges are very sharp. So it'd be nice to have a version with thicker grommets and also maybe some type of protection around the very edge of it. Just little things, but overall the panel's been performing well. I'll come back in, a couple months with a longer term test. So I actually think I'll probably take this down south and use it in the RV as well for an additional solar panel for our system. Till next time, Ray from Love Your RV and Boat. Cheers, everyone.